Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Neptunian Serenity. Whether or not this is your first time, I'm so glad you're here to join me for today's video. And as you can see in the title, today we're doing your tarot predictions for the month of June 2021. So as you can see, I'm doing things a little bit differently. I used to do these for each zodiac sign, and now I decided this month to do a pick-a-pile. So this is for everyone. We'll see if you enjoy this format, and if I do also. So you know, so you were asking what's going to happen for you in the month of June and what can you expect, what do you need to know about June, and we're also going to be looking at some advice with some pre-shuffled oracle cards at the end of the reading. I'm currently, yes, I do private readings, but my books are currently closed. However, I'm saying this just in case you watch this when I have opened my readings back. You can also just follow me on my Instagram, where I post more exclusive content and where you can keep in touch with me. And I also have an email in case you want to contact me for whatever reason. I would be glad to discuss with you. So all of that stuff is in the description box down below. But let's look at your piles. So we have 4 piles today: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. This is kind of a pick a deck actually, because I've used a different tarot deck for each of the piles. So pile 1 here is the Fountain Tarot. Pile 2 is the Ethereal Visions Tarot. Pile 3 is the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And pile 4 is the good old Rider-Waite Tarot. Alright, so always pick with your heart, not with your eyes. Let your intuition guide you. Take some deep breaths if you need to do that in order to pick. Pause the video now if you need more time, otherwise I'm going to get into pile 1. If you've picked a different pile, make sure to go get your timestamp in the description box or the comments down below so that you can skip ahead to your reading, and I will see you there. Hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who picked the Fountain Tarot. Let me just say I hope you guys are doing good. Super excited to do this reading because if you are subscribed to my channel, you might have noticed these are just pre-shuffled oracles that we're going to get into at the end. If you are subscribed to my channel, if you know me, you might have noticed I haven't been posting a lot recently. Eclipse season really kind of makes me very tired often, so I often take little breaks, and I've also kind of, because of the eclipse, not because, but you know, alongside the eclipse, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, but now I'm here and I have more time and more energy to dedicate to this YouTube channel and to my Instagram, so I'm super excited to be doing more readings for you guys, so I hope you're excited as well, okay? And if you like the way that I read, please make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can stick around and see more things from me, okay? But enough of the talking, let's just get into the reading. Also remember that this is a general reading, okay? So just take what resonates and leave the rest. And I know we're doing predictions today, but remember that you're not doomed or anything. This is not something that will inevitably happen to you, and you know, whether you see it as positive or negative, this is like what is the most likely energy according to the choices you're making in your life at the moment and the energy that you're in at the moment. So if you don't like what you hear today, don't be scared, don't be angry, just make sure that you remember that you have the power to change that through your choices and your mindset, okay? So I'm not saying this because the reading is negative, I didn't even look at the cards, but let's just see what we have. So So let's see what we have here. Okay. Let's just put it more here. So let's see what we've got. Here we have Judgment, strong card to start it out. And we have the Two of Swords in reverse, the Magician, the Five of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Cups, the Hanged Man in reverse, which makes him look upright, the Knight of Coins, the Three of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Coins, and the Page of Coins. Okay, interesting. So I think that you are also probably affected by eclipse season, or at least like there's a lot of changes that are coming through for you within the month of June. You might have, you know, if you've been feeling quite lethargic, or if you feel like your life has just been recently always the same routines, or it's been boring, or you feel like you're not happy in your job or in your studies, you just feel stuck, you feel like it's always the same thing, it's just not really stimulating. I think that's definitely going to change, because either something like significant will suddenly happen, or you will get some sort of epiphany where you will realize like, okay, this is what's missing, or this is what I truly want to do. And so if you've been looking for what is your calling in life, you might as well figure this out during the month of June, or it will get clearer to you, or you will get opportunities by the universe, big changes that will certainly make this easier. It might feel uncomfortable at first, because sometimes, you know, when we are being guided to change by the universe, sometimes it is difficult and uncomfortable because we don't see, you know, we have to let go of some things and we don't see ahead what we could have instead. But it's all for a reason. And yes, I think, you know, if some big things happen, it is good to have a mindset of like, I will accept this and try to be most at peace with it. But also it's not like, I don't think you should just be like, oh, like life just happens to me and it's bad things that happen to me and I have no control over it or no power. No. So I think it would be good for you to understand that you're always linked with the universe, that you might have more power than you think you do. And if you've been, you know, with the Two of Swords in reverse here, if you have been, yeah, exactly, if you've been feeling stuck, like, look at this card. Look how much this person looks stuck. They don't look like they're doing good, right? But this is in reverse, and then we have the Magician here. So either you'll manifest something that will completely get you something new and unstuck, or you will have answers that will make it easier for you to choose, or to choose to do something different or go in a different direction. And I think that some of you already know what your calling is, or what it is that you want to do right now with your life, but the truth is that in the past I think you might have self-sabotaged in the past because you were afraid. And obviously self-sabotage is on subconscious. It's a coping mechanism when we are scared. And so I think it was safer to keep yourself in this environment where you weren't truly fulfilled than to manifest something completely different that would give you the opportunity to change your life. And I know that can sound like paradoxical, because you're like, well, why wouldn't I want to change my life? I don't like my life. But again, like, we as humans always seek security, and sometimes the things that we want the most, we're the most afraid of them, and we sabotage them, or we delay them because we don't know how to face them, or we don't know, there's no certainty that it will work out, or that it will work the way that we want it to. And so it's normal to have those emotions and those fears, and you shouldn't like blame yourself or be harsh on yourself because of it. But if you are self-sabotaging, like, it's important to recognize those patterns so that you can work with yourself instead of against yourself, right? And the thing is, you might have been procrastinating this or sabotaging this. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage, but because you don't enjoy endings. And so even if perhaps what you have right now doesn't feel like the best thing, it would make you sad, at least at first, that you have to leave it behind, or it would feel like a loss, and it's difficult for you to cope with that. Because I think, yeah, exactly. I'm even seeing like you could be like more psychic than you think you are, or more intuitive, more sensitive to energies than you think you are, or than you used to think you are. But like keeping yourself in this kind of environment, keeping sabotaging yourself helped you keep yourself in the fog and disconnected, so that you didn't have to deal with it because you didn't know how. And because when you didn't have to deal with it, you didn't have to experience this, you felt more normal. Because, you know, being intuitive, being psychic, it's not really something that's talked about. It's not always something that's seen in a good light, unfortunately, because society represses everything that's associated with the feminine. Yeah, but you're very powerful, and you have a really beautiful sensitivity to energy and to the universe. And that's something that you want to embrace. You should want to embrace. But yes, there's finally movement during the month of June, either by yourself finally being like, you know what, I want to take the power over my life and I want to live the life that I want to. Or this could be kind of like quote on forced by the universe, because you've been stagnant for way too long and the universe is like, you know what, no, like this is meant to happen, this should happen. Or, you know, it could be like both at the same time. Like the universe is pushing really, really heavily and you finally are like, okay, I'm sick of it, let's go. Because we have the Hanged Man in reverse. The Hanged Man upright means stillness and no movement. And now in reverse, this is like, no, we have movement. We finally see clearly, and whatever knowledge that we've gained through spending time being still and being isolated and going within, whatever knowledge and wisdom that we've acquired since then, we're finally ready to bring that to light and bring that to our consciousness and to the forefront, and to express it and say it and embody it concretely. Because this is, and the thing is, this is like concrete action happening. This is not just like you'll have epiphanies and they'll be like super immaterial and not concrete. No, because we have the Knight of Coins. And so this is a journey that's been taking place for a while now, whether you realize that or not. And I think it's been more internal for the most part, those changes within. And now it's like we're ready to move forward. And although there will be some action, it might not be everything at once, because the Knight of Coins represents, you know, this is the Knight of Pentacles. This represents, you know, going slowly but surely towards your goal. But this is a very commendable energy, if that's the right word, because, you know, you understand that great things can take more time to build, and therefore you're making sure to build a strong foundation before you start, so that you're doing great afterwards and you feel secure. So this is really great. Let's see. And yes, finally, I think that with the Three of Wands in reverse, clarified by the Ace of Wands, like this, obviously Ace of Wands, once again, new beginnings, new opportunities like that are concrete, and of things where you can be creative, where you can be passionate. So to me, Ace of Wands, it's always a fun energy, passionate energy, because whatever it is, like, you know, Ace of Pentacles, for example, it can be a really good energy because it can be like a new job, but it doesn't necessarily show us that it's a job that will make you very happy. It just shows us that you will have new beginnings when it comes to income and money and security. But Ace of Wands, to me, you know, it can be a job, it can be a project, it can be so many things, but whatever it is, it's going to be something where you have fun and you can be yourself and you can express yourself and be creative. So this is really great. And I think that with the Three of Wands in reverse on it, I think that this could have been something that you juggled over time, like you've been doing it a little bit, like maybe it's like a hobby that you want to make your more prominent in your life because it's what you're most passionate about, but you couldn't really do that, or you didn't allow yourself to do that full time before, and so you've been juggling a lot of things at the same time, trying to how do we say that, compartmentalize, to like put things in different categories in your life so that it was more socially acceptable. But now you're like, you know what, I'm so tired of juggling things around, I'm so tired of like doing all these different things, and this is what I truly want to do, so let's just go for it. And I think you will, and I think the universe will help you do that in June, so that's really, really great. And even though the thing is, yes, I think you'll be less scared than you used to be, but maybe you will still have a little bit of that fear, but it's okay. And you don't have to work through all of your fear before going for it. you can just be like, you know, sometimes courage is not being fearless, it's being terrified and doing it anyway. Okay? So this is what you need to know about that. And yes, look at that. This is such beautiful energy, you guys, because we have the Eight of Coins and the Page of Coins. So, you know, the Eight of Coins means this is another energy kind of similar to the Knight of Coins, where we say like working slowly but surely towards our goals, really building something strong, something solid, something with a lot of worth, with a lot of value. And to me, the Eight of Coins is, it's also about vocation. So like somewhere where you've really found your place, and this is what you like to do. This is where you feel most valued and you enjoy yourself the most. And once again, we have carefree, childlike spirit energy here. And I think, you know, this is great. This is happening during we are in Gemini season until June 20th, and we will be in Cancer season. And Gemini is a very, you know, we have the eclipse on June 10th in the sign of Gemini, the new moon eclipse. And eclipse are very strong energy. This is new moon, so this can be new beginnings about hobbies. And the eclipses typically, they can be quite chaotic, but because the energy is so strong, typically things that happen during them can be very faded. So this is why I'm not that surprised to see this kind of spread here. Gemini is a very free-spirited, childlike, youthful energy that's really fun. And look how much fun this child seems to be having. So once again, this is like, you will have fun working, because the Eight of Coins, although it's not a negative energy or like a bored or like unhappy energy, it's a very serious, hardworking energy. And then you have the Page of Coins with it. So this is like, you will enjoy your job, you will enjoy the work that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You will have so much fun in it, and you will be able to both be serious and hardworking about it, and also expressive and childlike about it, and the best way possible. This is gorgeous. I love this. Okay, this is what I'm seeing with these cards. So let's get into the advice that I pulled for you. So how many cards do we have? 3. Okay. So all the decks I'm using today will be listed down below if you're curious. Yeah, look at that. What did I just say? What did I just say? Yep. Okay, amazing. So here we have the Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. So yes, there might be, you know, and we talked about self-sabotage wounds. It could be that, it could be something else. It could be both that and something else, okay? But you might need, especially at the beginning of the month, some time out for yourself just to heal and rest and recuperate. Here we have the full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. So yes, I think like this could be a self-sabotage thing. This could be like the fact that you, with the Three of Wands in reverse, we talk like you've been juggling things for a really long time, or you've been hesitating for a really long time. And whatever it is, there's something here that reaches finally a resolution. Okay, and here we have, look, the new moon eclipse. What we just talked about, what's happening literally this month. Expect powerful change. So powerful change will happen in June, okay? Here we have number 48, Porcupine Spirit, time for beginner mind. So yes, new opportunities, changes, new things happening. Your life would not look the same at the end of May and at the end of June, but I think you'll be happy about that. We have number 63, Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. So, you know, if through healing those self-sabotage wounds or healing whatever it is that delayed this for so long, this thing that you've been wanting, if you end up being upset at yourself, or you're like, oh my god, I cannot believe I wasted this much time in a job that I hated, no, and nothing is wasted, okay? Nothing is wasted. There was a reason for everything. You've had to learn some other lessons at the place where you didn't like to be, and it's okay, okay? There's no need to be resentful of yourself. Let's just look forward and have fun with what we have now. We have number 53, Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait. Okay, so not everything will unfold during the month of June either. Okay, yes, there will be changes, but there will be even more blessings in the future. So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to have everything yet. Just watch and wait and see what happens. Okay, if you're aligned with your soul, nothing bad can truly happen for you. And we have number 44, Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. So yeah, reclaim your power. If you are in any type of situation where you feel you're being disrespected, you're being erased, you're not being heard, you're not being seen, this is the month to stop accepting that and stand up for yourself and speak up and say, hey, I'm here and this is who I am, and I'm not going to accept or tolerate disrespect or anything else that doesn't serve my highest good. Okay? So pile 1, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you, and I thought it was a really beautiful spread, so I'm happy for you. I hope you're happy as well. Let me know if this was your pile in the comments. If this did not resonate, that's okay, it can happen. Feel free to pick a different pile, even a different reading. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Consider subscribing to my channel so that you can stick around and see more of my content. I would love to have you here, but either way, I will wish you an amazing rest of your day or night. Thank you so much for watching and joining me. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who picked the Ethereal Visions Tarot. So welcome. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're excited, because I am. Haven't done the reading in a while now for a bunch of reasons, but now I'm going to be on here more often. And that's really great. And if you like this reading or the way that I read, consider subscribing so that you can see more videos from me. But so today we're doing what's going to happen for you in the month of June 2021. Remember, first of all, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And also, if it resonates but you don't like what you're hearing, remember that tarot never really dooms you to anything. This is not like this will inevitably happen, and you always have control and power over your own life, okay? So this is simply what comes out here. This is simply what is the most likely thing to happen based on your choice, the choices that you're making right now, and the energy that you're in, the mindset that you're in at the moment. And so if you don't like what you're hearing, you can always change that by changing your actions, changing your mindset and your perspective on your life, okay? But let's just get into it and see what's in store for you for the month of June. Yeah. So you had a lot of cards, which is not a bad thing. We'll see what it is. Okay, so what do we do with these? Here. Give me a moment. Okay, and this one we'll put right here because why not? Okay. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse, the Empress, the Five of Wands in reverse, Three of Cups, King of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, Three of Pentacles in reverse, Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Magician in reverse, Four of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Justice reversed, and Temperance. Okay, so a lot of things. There's a lot of reversed cards, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You could really be cutting some people out of your life during the month of June, or at least distancing yourself from them. Because we have a lot of court cards and, you know, people like the Empress, the Page, the Queen, the King, another Page, the Magician here, there's a person on Justice, okay, stuff like that. So this could be a bunch of different kinds of people. I think that overall now you're really focused on your growth and your well-being with this Empress card. So I think you could have reached a point where you're like, you know what, I'm not accepting or tolerating any BS in my life anymore. And so if you're not truly happy for my success, and if you're not truly helping me grow and be happy, like, why would I bother with any of you? This could be your mindset in the month of June. And I think this is really great, okay? So you could be really reevaluating your friendships, or you could be like, with the Three of Cups, you could be spending some time with the people that you actually love and value the most, and you realize, like, why don't I feel the same with everyone else in my life? Okay, so you could be also someone who you are used to having a really big circle of friends, and now you realize some of your friends are more valuable than others sometimes, and some of them barely even know you and pretty much don't really bring you anything in your life other than like temporary entertainment. And so you could be really filtering through that a lot. It's so curious to me that we have two aces in reverse. We have two aces. The Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. I think that you're also being more independent and being more decisive on your own this month, or you're learning to do that because you want to do that. In the past, you could have waited for people to come talk to you first, or to open up to you first, or you could have always seeked out opportunities from people, and therefore you attracted people who are also like that, or you never really felt in control of your life. You never really understood people who were like, you create the life that you want. Well, you were like, no, things just happen to you. And now you realize that, like, you can actually create the life that you want, but only if the people who are around you are so aligned with the same mindset and values as you. And of course, we don't have to agree with everyone, well, with everything else that someone else thinks, but there's some values that are really core to who we are and that are most important to us. And it's important when we have people close to us in our life that they share the same visions, because otherwise it can create a lot of conflict. And you want to have a group of people, a circle of friends or family that you know you are safe within, that you can go there when you just seek good vibes and happiness. You don't want to be bothered with, like, do they agree with me on human rights or not, or, you know, something like that. And yeah, I think exactly this with the Four of Cups, like, you could have been a bit more close-minded in the past about, like, what are your possibilities. You could have just been like, what you thought your possibilities were was based on what you thought was possible, period. And so if you thought, for example, like, oh, I don't know, a job for me is something like working for a corporation 9 to 5 from like Monday to Friday, okay? And because of that, you never really saw the other kinds of opportunities that could have been given to you, because you were like, no, that this is my limited perception of what I think work can be. And this can be applied to many things like school, like friendship, romantic love, things like that. And now you're opening your mindset up, you're broadening your horizons more, and you're realizing that there's so many more opportunities out there. And so even in the past, I think when you were like, I didn't have a choice, maybe you did, but you just didn't really understand that. Because I think that with your limited perception of how things should be, or how things are only possible to be, you close yourself off not only to just random opportunities, but opportunities that could have taken you to somewhere greater, that could have really, really upped your game financially, but also in terms of your competences and of how evolved and developed you are in general. Like you could have found something that really you really could have grown into, and where you would have acquired like great status and great financial gain, and you didn't, because you dismissed it as impossible. And I think that the reason why you did that was to protect yourself, because maybe what your perspective of what work was, or romantic love was something that was safe and that was certain, because you understood it, because it was very clear, because it was stable, because it was always the same thing. It was safe, it was comforting, and you would have avoided potential loss or potential abandonment. But now you've reached a point in your life where I think you're so, either you've gotten epiphanies recently, and or you're so unfulfilled in your life that now you're like, what does this even mean? Like, yes, I've chosen security, I've chosen the obvious path, but like, what is that even giving me? Like, now it's become to the point where your life is so unfulfilling that it's worth it to take that risk of loss and abandonment if you finally find something that can make you grow and can make you feel happy. And you could have been really oh yeah, that's why. You could have been really, really influenced by people in the past who were also stuck in this same mindset. Yeah, exactly. This makes so much sense. Because you were surrounded by people who I think were very obedient to what the norms are and what you're expected to be and to become and to do. With the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse, they were people who, for example, would not fight for themselves, would not fight for better conditions, would not stand up for themselves, who would just not really who would not question themselves, when they were told what to do. Okay, and because of that, they just never really saw themselves as the boss that they could be. They never saw themselves as in the full power. They never understood how powerful they are and could truly become. They never saw nor exploited their full potential in the way that you want to. And they just always assumed, I'm really getting a lot of capitalistic vibes here, so this could be about work. Like, capitalism tells us a lot of lies. Okay, because capitalism only thrives because we accept being oppressed by it. And this is not me being like, oh, propaganda for communism. No, not even a communist, okay? And it's okay if you disagree with me on certain things. I don't care. It's not about that, okay? This is about you. But I'm saying you could have been surrounded by people who believe the lies of capitalism in the fact that you, as an employee, you are always disposable. You're being treated like an object. You should always just endure things. And when you're being told to do too much, you're not being paid enough, you should just accept it without fighting and while being silent. And you should, not only should you accept abuse, you should be grateful for it. And that is a lie. That is not true. And I think that you're finally ready to free yourself from that. And because you're still surrounded by people that think this way, it's really hard for you to do that. And for some of them, you will have to distance yourself from them or to cut them out of your life. Because these people, I'm even seeing like this could be people that you've worked with or people that you've been wanting to work with. Like you had ideas, even maybe like let's start a business together, or there could be colleagues or whatever. You had projects to do together because this is teamwork and recognition. But now it's like it's not even working because you're not aligned anymore with what they think and what their vision is. And so it's not really possible anymore. Maybe you are already working with them and now you just both have completely different goals, so that it doesn't really work out. And so you might have to end a collaboration like this, because you feel like this collaboration just kind of doesn't really have anything to offer anymore. Doesn't have anything new, anything exciting, anything fulfilling for you. With the Magician in reverse, I feel like these people, first of all, they don't believe in manifestation. They don't believe that they can have something better and greater for themselves and that they can make that happen for themselves. They just don't believe that because they're stuck. And you know exactly why that is and how that feels, because you used to be too. But now you're ready to start believing in that and start doing those things. But again, it's difficult when you're around people who are like, that's just BS, or you know, you just have to accept the shady things that you have and not say anything and not try to change that. Like, no. And yes, and I think because those people believe that, they don't manifest anything better for themselves either. Like if you're surrounded, like, and the thing I want to say is, if you have a circle of friends or even a romantic partner or whatever, even if you don't like the same things, you don't have the same kinds of career or the same kinds of interest, if they're not people that you find inspiring, what's the point of having them around? Think for yourself, do they have a life that you would want to have? And if the answer is no, and especially if the answer is like, oh, you don't know, not at all, why do you keep them around? Especially if they're people, you know, for example, people who have stayed in a relationship where they're not happy for years because it's comfortable. And when it's comfortable, it's not scary because it's familiar. People who accept abuse from their family when they have the choice not to, obviously, okay, if they're truly stuck, like they're a minor and they don't have anywhere else to go, or it would be dangerous for them to get out, then obviously that's something very, very different. But if they have the choice to stand up for themselves and they don't because they just think that they deserve it or that there's nothing better for themselves, you don't want them around. If there are people who are stuck in a job that they hate and where they get treated like crap, and they just accept it, and they've done that for years and are not getting themselves out, what are they doing in your life? Why do you let them access your energy? The truth is, no matter who you view yourself as, it's always a privilege for people to be close to you and to get to know you personally, okay? It's not a right for people to be a close friend to you and to have access to your time and to your energy. Those things are precious. So if they're not aligned with you, you don't owe them anything, okay? Because these people, like, you want to reach balance. You want to have a life where you have enough so that you can give back, okay? You want to become the Empress and the King of Pentacles upright. Like, you want to create this life for yourself and have beauty and have security. Not security as in like traumatized security. Security as in like feeling secure within yourself, where you can birth new projects. Okay, the Empress is creator energy because she's pregnant. She's creating life slowly but surely, and she's birthing new beautiful creations. And so these people in your life, they're here. They're little beggars who don't have a high self-esteem and are stuck in their own mindset. This is who you are now, the Empress. This is who you are now. And so you've leveled up. Not necessarily in a way like, oh my god, you're so much better than them and they're like bad people. Not necessarily, okay, obviously. It's just that you've kind of grown past them and now it's difficult to connect with them because of that, because you've become a different person. And although that is really painful and sometimes bittersweet to let go of people like that, like, it happens. It's normal, okay? And if you do decide to let go of them because you feel your differences are too strong, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to allow yourself to grieve that, and know that when you embrace and dare to be your authentic self, you give the opportunity for people who will vibe with you and will resonate with that to find you. And so you will find your people, I promise, okay? And also this could be relationships where you there was not an equal give and take. There was no justice, no balance, okay? Could even be something about breaking a contract here, or a contract where it was just not good for you or for them. Especially if it's something like you work with them, or you want to get out of a job you don't like, something like that, okay? Or if this is like about like friendship or romantic relationship, maybe like not necessarily a contract obviously, but like the kind of unwritten agreement that you had about how this relationship was gonna go does not work anymore. And I think that this Temperance card is really just saying that like you can adopt slow living and be peaceful about that, okay? You don't have to work yourself to death all the time. That's just another lie that capitalism tells us. And your angels are watching over you and they're protecting you, so you don't have to be afraid. And there's like greater things coming for you that you don't see yet that will happen in the future, because Temperance is about patience also. Because we're starting here with the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Page of Wands, and I feel like this represents who you are at the beginning of the month of June, which is someone who doesn't express themselves and someone who does not let their creative energy out, and who does not go on to new journeys, new paths, new quests that are exciting and are about adventure and discovery. So these are energies, you know, let's put them upright to help you with this process. Now it's okay, you have wisdom, you know a lot more than you think, and you can express yourself if you want to. And you can take risks and go out for the things that you truly love and that are stimulating and exciting for you, okay? It's okay. You can do that. You can give yourself the permission to do it. You don't have to wait for other people to give you the permission, because these people will not give you that permission. How could they give you that permission, that approval, when they can't even give it to themselves and free themselves? They can't. And that's okay. It happens. You can't ask them to do something that they can't do. But you don't have to wait for their approval. You don't have to be controlled by it. You can give that approval and that permission to yourself. And that's all that matters. Okay? Beautiful spread. Let's see what your advice is for the month. You'll only have 2 cards like this. Oh no, okay. Hold on. Yep. You know, I know that I mostly kind of talked about this as if it was work, but I am getting, for a lot of you, this is also about like being in authentic romantic relationships as well, because it felt safe. Okay? Interesting. Okay, so we have the fixed moon, hold your vision. Okay, so exactly, I think you have a vision, you have a plan, you have an idea of what you want to do, and people are trying to discourage you because they don't understand it. But hold that vision, okay? It has worth, it has value. There is truly something there to explore. So don't dismiss it just because people don't understand it. Trust yourself with it. We have new moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation. Especially if you're having a lot of conflicts with friends and or family and or a romantic partner. It's okay to not agree, and you might never agree with them, but you can accept that they cannot push themselves out of their own limitations if they don't want to do that. And so you can accept that, and you know, when I said you might cut them off, it's not necessarily like in a mean way or in a conflictual way. You can be at peace with that. You can just be like, you know what, I forgive you and I see you for who you are and I accept that, but I'm just not interested anymore. So bringing love into the situation, especially if you're having arguments, that can be really, really helpful. And bring love for yourself also, being more empathetic towards yourself. We have waxing moon, the energy is gaining momentum, so yes. And full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. So yes, there's stuff happening during the month of June, okay? And you can't really escape that anymore. And we have new moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off, okay? So don't worry about that. If you feel like things aren't moving fast enough or nothing is happening, or you changing your ways or your mindset or your routine or whatever it is, it's not doing anything, it is doing things. You're just not seeing it yet, okay? So don't worry, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing you. Keep going for your goals and for your dreams. We have number 49, Rabbit Spirit, now is a lucky time. So if you've been wanting to start new things, or to change, you know, directions with your life, this could be a lucky time. If you've been wanting to connect with new friends, with new people, with your romantic partners, this could be a lucky time for that as well. Okay, the energy seems to be quite aligned with you this month and have potential for you. We have Wombat Spirit, be at home, number 68. So this means, you know, it always makes me laugh pulling this card during COVID. Which is like, you know, be at home. But obviously this is meant in a more figurative way, as in be at home within yourself. Even if you are in an environment where you don't feel seen and heard and welcome and safe, you can give that to yourself. You can hear yourself, you can see yourself, you can validate yourself, which is what we were talking about, and just feeling at home within your own self and your own body and your own heart. Because when you have that, you're not stressed about getting that for anyone else, because you don't need it. And here we have number 1 and Spirit, time to collaborate. So this could be time to collaborate with the universe, time to collaborate with new people, or I don't know, whatever this means to you. Because it's interesting, we have this right over the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So, and I said, you know, for some it's time to end a collaboration, but for some of you, the more you are open to collaborating, the more you're going to be able to get what you want. So if you're in a place where you don't want to be and you just want to cut cords and leave, you can do that. But if you want to work at something, like for example you're having conflicts with a friend or romantic partner or family member, and you're like, no, I want to make this work, I want to, you know, reach compromise, well, it's time to collaborate with them, okay? And it might look differently than what you think it will, or differently than what it looked like in the past, but I think there's possibilities here. Okay, so Pile 2, that was the reading that I got for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please let me know that this was your pile in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more. I would love to have you here. If this did not resonate, that's okay, it can happen. Feel free to pick a different pile or even a different reading, but either way, I will leave you here and wish you an amazing rest of your day or night. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who picked the Mystic Mondays Tarot. So welcome, I hope you're doing good. I hope that you are excited for this as much as I am. I'm really happy to be doing this reading for you. Haven't done a reading in a while now for a bunch of different reasons, but I will be more free and more available for this right now. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more readings in the future. So hey, if you like my style of reading, stick around by subscribing. Remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And also, if this does resonate but you don't like what you hear, because we're doing what will happen for you during the month of June, remember that tarot does not control your life, you do, okay? You are an empowering of your whole life. What we're pulling today is the most likely energy to happen based on the way that you're living and the choices that you're making. And so if you don't like what you hear, remember that you have the power to change that through taking different decisions, making different actions, having a different mindset and a different perspective, and being in a different energy, okay? So now that we have said that, let's just get into it. And see what's in store for you for the month of June. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. As you saw in the beginning, we also have some pre-shuffled oracle that we're going to get into at the end. That will be your advice for the month. And all the decks I'm using will be listed down below. I always do this because I know how it feels to watch a tarot reading and be like, oh my god, what deck is this? And you don't know. Anyway, so here we have Justice in reverse, the Four of Wands, the Moon, King of Wands in reverse, Five of Pentacles, the Hermit reversed, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Swords in reversed, yes, the Strength card, the Emperor reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the World. Okay, so let's see. It's interesting to have Justice reversed with the Four of Wands underneath it, because Justice in reverse means unbalance and inequity, while the Four of Wands represents happiness, happy home, and stability. So this could be that you are restoring balance that has been needed and for a long time. So maybe it's like, if the scale has been so unbalanced, and you know, for example, this tip, it's right here, you have to give a lot back to the other ways before it becomes balanced again. So it feels like you're not being balanced because you're giving a lot to one side, but in the end it will keep you balanced, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So this could be that you have been so invested, for example, in your work or your studies, that you've completely unbalanced with your home life and your family and yourself, and now you're gonna give a lot more and be much more focused on that during the month of June, which in the end will get you to a higher sense of balance than you are at the moment when you're first watching this or at the beginning of the month, okay? But I think that for some of you, maybe either like recently there's been unbalance or struggles within a relationship with someone, or with like a authority figure, perhaps at work, because you know, we have Queen of Swords reversed, King of Wands reversed, Emperor reversed, and I'm seeing a script of like finally reclaiming your power and things like that. I think that you're confused about this person with the Moon card. You're confused about what to do, about, do they have a right to treat me the way that they are? Do they have that kind of authority over me? Do I want to allow this? Or maybe you know that it is a problem, but you don't know how to address it because you are very much in your emotions with this Moon card. This could be that you just don't seem to be able to talk to each other or hear each other, because you're operating very differently. Even if this person is most likely a man, even if they're not, they have a really masculine energy, really fiery energy, so they could be fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they don't have to be, obviously. You'd have a really strong Mars in their birth chart. So this could be that this person is very much action driven and they can detach from their emotions, and you're more, you could be a Pisces with the moon card, you could be like a water sign, other water, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You could just be someone who's more connected to spirituality and emotions, and so for you it's easier to consider things from an emotional point of view, and they have a different kind of, they process things differently, and so it's hard for you to compromise or to get to a place where you both see and hear and understand where each other is coming from. So this could be where kind of the difficulties come in. And I think that you've been feeling left out of in the cold, because no matter this person's intentions, you know, for some of you, I'm getting that they could be kind of aggressive, or, you know, a little bit too feisty or too authoritarian. But for some of you, they don't necessarily have bad intentions, but because of everything that we've already said, you've been feeling like they don't support you. Like they're not giving you what you need. They're not supporting you in the way that you need them to. You feel like they're not there for you. They don't provide to, and this could be the sense of imbalance. You feel like you're doing all the work at home or whatever, okay? If this is a boss, like it's in the same way. Like it will be like you feel like you're doing all the little type of work, the little, you know, happiness and agreement between the coworkers kind of work, and they're only doing like the leadership things. You know, it can be feeling the same way that you feel they don't help you, they don't provide for you, because it is important for a boss to do that. That's part of their job, okay, to be there for you and to help guide you, okay? There's a big, this can be a difference between being a boss and being a leader, and you always want a boss to be a leader, obviously. And a good leader will take the time to hear their employees and try to see what they need, and try to understand who they are so that they can reach them when they talk to them and adapt themselves to each of them. Okay, it's not just you who should be doing the trying to adapt themselves to them. They should also be doing the same for you. And either they're not doing that, or they're not doing that enough, or in the way that works for you. And so you feel like you're not being seen. I think that you've been working really, really hard, and they're just not acknowledging that. And that's also really upsetting for you and really saddening. Because it's almost like, and this could even be something like maybe if you are in a relationship, if you are together and you have children together, this could really be like you feel like you're taking care completely of the children. And you know, I don't know how you say it in English, but there's something about the mental charge, which is that, like, for example, if you're a couple together and you have children, or even if you don't, like, of course, if you live together, there's a certain workload of chores that you need to do, and even if that's split up between the two of you, it doesn't feel equal when you're the one who has to manage all of it, and to remember, do we still have eggs? Do we have to pick up the kids? Do we have to, no. Like, even if you, like, concretely, it seems to be evenly split up and divided, it actually isn't. Because you always have to ask them to do something. They don't seem to care, they don't take the initiative. And if this is your boss, like, you feel like they criticize what you do wrong, but they never acknowledge or applaud you for the things that you do right. And so you don't feel valued for it because of that. And it's an important thing for a boss to give you praise and to tell you you've done a good job when you have. And so because of that, it's like you're not alone, obviously, with the Hermit in reverse. You're not literally alone or going at it alone, but it feels like you are, which is the most annoying thing. And for you, you might even, like, gaslight yourself into being like, well, I'm being delusional, or I'm not grateful enough, or it's my problem. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But this could be, like, difficult for you to express because you don't know how to make them understand that. They could be like, well, yes, I am there for you, or I listen to you, or I am doing chores, but it's like not in the right way. And maybe they're listening to you, but they're not hearing you. Those are two different things. And so I think that during the month of June, you're really, really taking back your power. Okay, listen, we have the Strength card and the Ace of Swords. These are really strong, really beautiful cards. So Strength is about self-love. It is about self-determination. It's also about slowly but surely getting to your goals, okay? And this is about self-empowerment, obviously. And the Ace of Swords is about communication. And, you know, with the colors, the way that the hand is gripping the sword, and the theme that we have in this reading, to me, this is like speaking up for yourself finally, and also being able to communicate what you need to, because we have the Emperor in reverse underneath the Strength card. So this is like, you feel like there's been an authority figure and you are like reclaiming your power. You are asserting yourself and finally being like, no, I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. This is who I am and this is what I expect. And as you should. I love to see that for you, okay? This is really great. Because even if you are in a romantic relationship and this person is not your boss, it could even be, there could be some weird type of power dynamic that is just not serving you and you feel like they're being authoritarian over you, and it's like, no. Like, that's not happening. And I think that you will close out a pattern, okay? If really this connection is going really, really awry and it's just, when you assert yourself, you know, you're not very optimistic about it, when you assert yourself, they are being very defensive and really, really toxic, there is a potential that this connection will end, okay, during the month of June. But I don't think it will be the case if you don't want it to. And if you see that this person is at least a little bit open to improving themselves and making this work. All right? Either way, you speaking up for yourself, finally being able to communicate that, and finally standing up for yourself in the way that you deserve, because you love yourself and you understand that you deserve it, will close out a pattern. So either this will be, if you stay together, or if they are still your boss, like your dynamic will change a lot because you're closing out a cycle. This could even be like, if you're someone who struggles to stand up for themselves and speak up for themselves in general in your life, this could have been a really, really great challenge for you. And this could be like a pattern that you're finally healing. If you feel you always attract people who are like this and who don't provide for you, who don't give you what you need, who don't respect you, who never hear you, now it's the universe forcing you to do that so that you're learning your lesson, you're closing out a pattern, and you're healing a wound. And so I think that now that you will do that, you will not really truly find that anymore in your life. This will stop happening, or when it will happen, it will be super minimal and it will be easier for you to deal with. Okay? But this is a really beautiful end of the reading. No matter what happens for you, it will be greater things that will happen for you in the future with this. Okay? If you do leave either them as your romantic partner or your boss, and you leave the workplace, for example, you could travel to a different place, you could move to a different place, or just kind of be like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna go and travel and we'll see what I do with my life after that. So this could be really fun for you, but this is only I believe maybe if you stay together for your romantic relationship, you could be like, well, let's just go on a little holiday together, go on a trip, and this could be a fun way for you to reconnect with each other and to kind of try to get to know each other again now that you're different people, you've evolved. All right, so let's see, let's look at your advice cards now. We have a lot of cards. Yeah, I think so many cards came out for you, a lot more than the other piles. Okay, we're gonna have to show them in different batches, so let's see. This is your advice. Yeah, okay. So here we have the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. And we have new moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. So again, this is balance, this is the scale. So in your romantic relationships, there needs to be a new beginning where give and take ratio is better. And you know, I did say that in the beginning, I didn't really understand how that could materialize or what that meant. But you know, when I said like, when something is so out of balance, you have to give back in a way that seems unbalanced, but it's actually bringing you back to balance. Okay, so for example, if you're in a relationship where you feel you give all the time and they always take, to redeem balance, you might need to go through a period of time where they seem to give a lot more than you, but that's normal, or vice versa. So this could be what that means, okay? There's also the sense like if you're used to being a giver and people don't seem to give back to you, sometimes subconsciously it's because we're not comfortable with receiving, okay? So if you want that to change, make sure that you try to become comfortable with that, because when you finally get it, you might be like, oh my god, this is scary, this feels uncomfortable, why can't I accept it? Okay, so you'll be fine, but just like know that it's something that might get triggered. When it comes up, just like accept it and be at peace with it. Full moon in Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture. And full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan. So yes, exactly. For some of you, this person or this relationship could have more potential than you think it does, because it has a potential to transform. And for others of you, it doesn't, but you're staying because you think there's nothing else out there for you, but there is. We have full moon in Scorpio, it's time to release negativity, and you in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. So this is what we said at the end. When you release negativity, whether you release that side of that connection with them or you release them, whatever happens, whatever decision that you make, when you release negativity, whatever that looks like for you, prosperity will lie ahead, and you don't have to be worried about that. You'll get new opportunities, new kind of security, and new stuff, and you'll meet new people. We have balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces. So yes, balance, being in your emotions and being action driven, being emotionally driven and being action driven. And we have new moon in Leo, confidence is your key to success. So yes, believing that, and this is the strength card once again, so self-empowerment, self-determination, and loving yourself enough that you trust and you understand that you deserve the best, and that you will settle for nothing less than that. And we have the North Node, step out of your comfort zone. So yes, I think that says it all. So this is not going to be, this is something different that you're doing. This way of standing up for yourself, and it's not going to be comfortable, it's not going to feel easy because of that, but it will bring you, this is fated, this is, the North Node is a path that we're meant to take on. So this can only, when you're aligned with your soul, only good things can happen to you after that, and prosperity will lie ahead. So yep. So we have number 61, Turkey Spirit, give with gratitude and grace. For some of you, it's you who should be giving a bit more, or you should give opportunities or chances, whatever it is, or they need to give to you. Whatever it is, when you do give, make sure that you give with gratitude and grace, even when it's also giving to yourself. We have number 54, Skunk Spirit, know your worth. Yes, absolutely. This is all about self-love. We have Snake Spirit, number 55, time to heal. And we have number 9, Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Okay, so you might need to take some time out from this, from your life, from them. Take a little break to rest and relax and heal and let go. So make sure you do that if you feel the need to. We have 27, Fox Spirit, think on your feet. And finally, we have number 66, White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. And I mean, what else can I say, right? I feel that's what we've been saying since the beginning. And that's a really, really beautiful way to end and close out the reading. So pile 3, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please let me know in the comments that this was your pile. Like this video, Yes, comment down below, of course. Subscribe to my channel for more. I would love to have you here. If this did not resonate, that's okay. It can happen. Feel free to pick a different pile or even a different reading. Either way, I'm gonna send you off here and say goodbye. I'm gonna wish you an amazing rest of your day or night. Once again, thank you for tuning in and joining me today. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Hello pile 4 and welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who picked the Rider-Waite Tarot. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're excited for this as much as I am. I'm super happy to be doing this reading for you today. So here are just some pre-shuffled oracle cards that we're going to get into at the end of your reading because they will be your advice for the month. So as you know, today we're doing what's happening for you during the month of June, some June predictions, what do you need to know about the month of June, what can you expect, all that good stuff. So remember that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I do private readings, personal readings, but they're closed at the moment. However, I do intend on opening them back up towards the end of June, so if you're seeing this reading by then all my information will be down below to contact me to do that. But anyway, and also remember that like this is the most likely energy to happen based on the way that you make decisions and live your life at the moment. And so if it does resonate and you don't like what this says, remember that you are always in control of your own life. Okay, tarot doesn't control your life, you do. And so if you don't like what you're hearing, you just know that you have the power to change it through making different decisions, taking different kinds of actions, living in a different kind of energy, and having a different mindset and perspective on your life, okay? But with that out of the way, let's just get into it and see what's happening for you in June. So all right. So we have Justice, we have the World, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Two of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Moon in reverse, Strength, the Seven of Swords in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, and finally the Three of Cups in reverse. Okay. So I think that the underlying theme for you in the month of June 2021 is really about justice and balance, okay? So I think this is what, whether consciously or not, this is what you're truly seeking during the month of June. And so if in the past or by the beginning of the month, there's really a lot of things that have been unbalanced for you, this is kind of the month where like, okay, some things need to change, some things perhaps we need to have a different perspective on or to take a different approach with. It's interesting to have the World card this early in the spread, and we have the Seven of Pentacles underneath it in reverse. So to me, this is interesting, because with the Two of Swords and the Ace of Wands, this is almost like you've been wanting something for so long, and now that you finally got it, you're scared to make a choice and to finally go for it. There's almost that kind of energy that I'm getting here. And of course, it seems illogical, but of course that can happen for a bunch of different kinds of reasons. We can be scared of the things that we want the most sometimes. I was saying that with another pile too. You could be closing out a cycle or a pattern of impatience and of always going for things that give you instant gratification. You could be finally getting the opportunity to travel during the month of June, especially since maybe this is about like work. You used to travel for work and now you couldn't anymore because of COVID, or someone who likes to travel in general and you weren't able to have that. That was really stuck in time with obviously the current situation worldwide, and now you're finally getting the opportunity. You will travel during the month of June. Okay, so if that's something you would like to happen, it could very much happen. Or if you've been wanting to like move or go somewhere else, maybe for your career, or you haven't been able to do that because of obvious delays, this could be ending during the month of June. But either way, like this is really interesting because you're going to be given a new opportunity during the month of June. And whatever it is, the Ace of Wands for me, this is kind of, okay. This is a little bit similar. I don't usually say this, but I'm being called to say this. So this is a little bit similar to pile 2, I believe. Or which one? Which one was it? Pile 2 or pile 1? But I'm just saying this, if you also fell drawn to those piles, maybe there's something there for you. Also, if you didn't, don't worry for it. Don't go for it. You're at the right place, okay? But anyway, so the Ace of Wands for me, this is the aces in tarot always represent new opportunities and new beginnings and new offers. And the Wands suit for me, because the Wands is about creativity, it's about action, it's about passion. To me, this isn't necessarily like, oh, this will be a new beginning in your career or in your love life or in this exact sphere of your life, but whatever it is, it's going to be something that you enjoy and that you are passionate about, and that is really exciting and new and stimulating, and that is concrete and action driven, and where you are very passionate about it. And so you could be given the choice, but with the Two of Swords, it's like this is someone who has to make a choice, is not sure. So this could be a month where you are being asked, do you want to take the option that you love but does not give you security? Or do you want to take the obvious choice, the security choice? Or you're being given too many opportunities that all seem fun at the same time, and you're like, which one do I choose? Now that's kind of a nice problem, isn't it? Not saying that to invalidate you. I'm saying this as like we'd rather have that and have too many options that we don't like, right? So either way, you're gonna have to decide some stuff during the month of June. It's gonna be difficult for you. But the Two of Swords is about, the person here is blindfolded because they stick to the swords, which is logic and intellect. And the true answer lies within the waters and the moon that is behind them. And what that means is that you're going to struggle a lot to make decisions during the month of June if you try to rely solely on your logic. And you are going to be able to make a decision that you feel secure and happy with once you decide to trust your gut and to follow your intuition and to listen to your emotions. Okay, so this could be uncomfortable or uncommon for you, but if you're like, oh my god, the way that I usually make decisions, maybe I'm even seeing someone writing a list, like making a little graph where they write a list of like pros and cons. Maybe you do that. Maybe it's like your thing and you always use that to make a decision and it always works, and now it doesn't, and you're like stuck and you're like, well, what do I do now? What you do is you ask your intuition, you meditate about it, you try to see how do you feel about each option, and that's going to help you out, okay? And that's also how you're going to get out of this confusion space with the moon card. And you could be choosing something that needs to be grown, in the sense that it might not be everything that you want right away, but you could have gone out of this self-gratification, instant gratification pattern, right? And so this could be somewhere you finally, the choice that you truly want, it's something that where you need to kind of make your space within time, or to get to know the people within time. And that's not going to happen right away, but it's because you need determination and you need gentleness also, right? This is like the lion and the human becoming friends over being gentle and getting to know each other. And this is also self-assertion. So take the thing where you will be most valued for your individuality and where you'll be able to express yourself creatively. If this is about choosing a place or a person, this could be associated to the sign of Leo, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I feel this is a different message. I feel like in your life recently, or in the recent past, you've identified someone as being a quote-on snake. That's truly what I heard in my mind. And so this person could have been a man, could have been a fire sign, doesn't have to be with the King of Wands. You know, fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be you realize that they were not good for you, that they were dishonest, that they were hiding things from you, and you've already cut them out of your life, and they try to come back and you're like, nah. Okay, I'm saying that's a possibility, something that could happen, but that's kind of minor, because you're not going to be having any of their BS, and you're going to be like, no, get out. And if you're suspecting someone right now to not be who they are and to be lying to you, I don't think that they are. I think that you're perceiving that for a bunch of different reasons. And also remember that we are in a Mercury retrograde until this 22nd, I believe, for most of the month. And because of that, Mercury retrogrades make, you know, they're not as like sensational. They're very sensationalized by some people in the astrology community, and I don't abide by that, but so they're not going to doom your life, they're not going to ruin your life, okay? But they do make misunderstandings much more likely and easier. And so it's really important to, instead of assuming things about things that you don't know, you're not sure about, which can really get blown out of proportion during Mercury retrograde, make sure that you go talk to them. And you ask them questions, and you're like, when you said that, did you really mean it like that? What did it mean? Because I took it this way. Did you really mean it like that? Like, or what is your goal here? What are your intentions? Okay, I'm gonna put it upright so that it is easier for you to do that. Because you could be projecting, or you could just be misunderstanding what they're trying to do. And maybe it is true that they don't align with you, but by then you'll see clearly. But you wanna know for sure. You wanna know the truth instead of assuming things. I'm seeing here for some of you, I'm seeing for some reason this card being really connected to COVID regulations. So sorry to talk about that all the time, but because the Hermit in upright is about isolation and going within. So this could be that, I don't know where you live, but wherever you live, restrictions regarding COVID could be lifted, or could be more tolerant. And so, for example, you could be allowed to like leave the house more often, or to, I don't know, go to restaurants or go somewhere where you can socialize more. So I am seeing this, you're going to have more freedom, you're going to be less isolated during the month of June. However, you might not be able to see your friends right away for some reason. Maybe they want to, I'm hearing some of your friends want to wait until they have their vaccine and they don't have it. Some of them are just really busy, or there's going to be something that kind of comes in the way where you can't really plan something during the month of June, and you can't like have the big party or the celebration or the reunion that you want to have. But it doesn't mean that you will not have it afterwards. But it just means that it's going to be progressive, because maybe you thought like, oh, when the COVID regulations are not there anymore, we're just gonna all get together on the first night and throw a huge party, and that's not exactly how it's gonna happen. You're gonna get more freedom, less regulations, less restrictions, but you're not gonna be able to do all that stuff just yet. It's gonna come with time, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for these cards. Let's get into your advice. Yes, exactly. So we have the new moon, a new start is coming. And yes, we've already talked about that. Somewhere or another, there is a new start. We have the disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out, okay? So do that. Allow yourself to rest. Maybe you're not really doing that right now, especially if there's a lot of changes in your life. That can really tire us out. And or emotional self and our emotional health and our physical health are intrinsically linked, okay? So if you're going through difficult things, or if you're really stressed, or if you're just experiencing a lot of changes at the same time, your body will be tired too, okay? So don't expect yourself to be like as energized as you usually are, okay? That's totally fine, and just allow yourself to take a little break and to rest, especially with eclipse season, okay? We're still in eclipse season with gonna get an eclipse on June 10th. That can be really, really intense and chaotic, and but therefore that can be really tiring. I always take little breaks when we are in eclipse season, okay? So if you find yourself, you need to do that, especially if you have Cancer placements or Gemini placements, Sagittarius placements. Gemini, Sagittarius, because those are the signs that the eclipse season is in, and the moon because Cancer, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and so the eclipses are connected to the moon, and so if you have Cancer placements, you can be more sensitive to eclipses in general. But anyway, we have the new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. So yes, as I said, some of you think someone in your circle is trying to screw you over, and they're not. For some of you, you're scared to go for new things and go for different things because you're scared that you and your loved ones are not safe, but they are. You are, okay? We have Crow Spirit, co-create with spirits, okay? So yes, you can have new beginnings, you can have new beautiful things. You have to collaborate with your guides, with your spirit guides, with your angels, all that stuff, okay? We have number 54, wasp spirit. Sometimes life stings, so maybe not everything will go according to plan, or maybe some things will be difficult. Maybe some of you will have someone kind of toxic from your past trying to come back, or you truly unveil their intentions, and it's true that they're not the best, but this is to make you realize something. It's because there's something greater for you out there, okay? We have number 25, Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. So yes, think about like when you were put in similar situations in the past, how did you deal with them? What was the best way to deal with them? What was the best kind of approach? What did you learn from that, and how can you make that into action? How can you turn knowledge into wisdom? And finally, we have number 28, Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter. So make sure that your home is very clean. Some of you could be kind of holding on to things like belongings that represented a kind of a past version of you, or a side to your life or to yourself that kind of doesn't really exist anymore, therefore it's not really relevant to be staying in your energy. For some of you, this is truly like clearing out the clutter, as in clearing out the things that don't serve you, clearing out the people that don't align with you, okay? But just make sure that you don't let that accumulate itself, because when we have great space, both physically and mentally. This is where we can thrive at our best, okay? So pile 4, that was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. If this was your pile and you liked it, make sure to like the video, comment down below, let me know this was your pile, and subscribe to my channel for more. I would love to have you here. If this did not resonate, that's okay, it can happen. Feel free to pick a different pile or a different reading, but either way, I will say goodbye here and wish you an amazing rest of your day or night. Once again, thank you for tuning in and joining me. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.